Kim, you had that kind of rough stretch in the first half, and you called the timeout early there in the second quarter. Talk about how you were able to close that half after kind of a sluggish stretch there.
Well, I took a lot of the blame for that. I subbed early. I subbed too many at one time. You want to get kids minutes. You want to rest kids. I need to be a better coach in subbing one at a time and letting them get in the flow. I'll take some of that, but also give a little credit to Oklahoma State. You're playing a team that's fighting for second, third place in the division in the league, and a good team, well coached team, a team that just has my utmost respect because of what they've done all year. Picked eighth in our conference, and look where they are. And we knew it would be physical. We knew they would mix their defenses up, and they did. And then we would get on runs and extend the lead, and I just made sure I subbed better, the rest of the game.
Kim, what was the difference in that stretch at the end of the second quarter? I think y'all went on a 17-0 run.
Well, it was just getting the starters back in there and running, pushing the ball. I think both teams played really, really hard, and I think both teams got fatigued. We just made a couple of transition baskets there that got us going.
Chad, go ahead.
Okay. Dee, staying on that same stretch, that last 4.5 minutes there, the second quarter, as a player that's been around this program for a while and knowing your teammates pretty well, what do you do when things aren't going well, and at what point did you feel like they started clicking in that time period?
I think as the leader, I just try to, save face, try to be the poised one in the group, and not, you have Coach Mulkey yelling, and I'm trying to be the one that's like, listen to her, message, not the tone, because, I think the younger players tend to listen to her tone instead of the message. So I think I'm just repeating that the whole time. And once we start clicking, or once we see one shot fall in, then it's kind of like, well, let's build off of it now. You change whatever you're saying to now, let's grow off of this, and then eventually that turned into a 17-0 run.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nalissa went real aggressive to the basket for a layup to start it. And then Dejanay had a couple of big buckets, both on assists from you. Did you sense her getting hot at that point?
Yeah, that's what's good about this team. At any given time, someone can be hot, and you kind of just have to, me being the point guard, figure out which one, is hot at the time, and, to give them the ball in their, their shooting time, whenever they're ready to shoot or whatever. So I think it makes it easier playing with players that can score the ball as well as they can.
Excellent, thanks.
All right, Smoke.
Dee, with all that you've seen, been through as a team, yourself, whatever, you're on the verge of winning a win away from a share of the title, which is like 50 in a row, and then also getting to 15 wins to win it outright. Does it make it even more special this year that you're on the verge of doing that with all you've faced?
Definitely, especially with the way the season ended last year. Whether we won it or not, it wasn't the way we wanted to end it. So being able to win it this year with, whatever adversity I face, individually, and having the adversity that the team faced with COVID and everything that, speaking for the team, I think this is a real special moment on Saturday.
Kim, you ever thought much about that?
I start thinking about conference championships when you get closer to clinching them, and there was no escaping telling the kids. I told them that West Virginia was playing at Iowa State tonight, and depending on the outcome of that game, if West Virginia gets beat and you win 2 in a row, you can clinch a share of the title. Now, obviously, we don't want to share it. We'll need to, win 2 more after tonight. But the fun part is if we can beat Kansas State here Saturday, you can celebrate on your home floor. Now, we don't have all the fans we normally have, and I'm sure they're not going to let them come on the floor and celebrate and cut nets down and do all that, but we're certainly going to do it. We're not going to take any shortcuts. The confetti will fall, and we will do all that, but you got to win the game first. So we'll enjoy tonight, and we'll get in the film room tomorrow and be ready to go early on Saturday morning. Do I think about it very much? In 21 years that you've won it 11 times, sometimes I think about it when I'm at home and have a quiet moment and just kind of think, wow, keep feeding that monster.
All right, Jerry.
Dee 11 assists tonight, and the one I remember was the alley-oop to Lists.
Me too.
It looked like it might have even been a little bit off target,
Uh-huh.
but she kind of finished it for you. Talk about that pass.
I have my mindset when Coach Wilkie calls this play. I always have my mindset, okay, Dee, this is your chance. Like, throw the lob, because Liz is always giving me a hard time about the lob. So it's just, again, having Liz in there, I literally just throw it in the area, and she can kind of make it happen. And that's what she did. I mean, she's a great athlete, so she makes it real easy on me for sure.
Dee, have you just gotten more comfortable at that position as the year has gone on? I mean, I think you looked pretty comfortable even from the beginning of the year, but just you look better in that role now.
Yeah, I mean, I could say that. Being coached by Coach Milky, I mean, she's really hard on her point guards. She makes it, tough on me, but that's what I need in practice. Her getting after me, and it's making it easier in the game whenever I get out to play.
Chad, back to you.
Jerry mentioned one of the athletic plays by Nalissa. Kim, the play at the end of the half where Nalissa gets it and just swoops to the basket and I guess, has enough head for the game to know what the clock is at. I mean, how would you describe the way the half ended and how much momentum did that give you guys going into the second half?
Well, she ran the floor. Fatigue set in, and she saw we had enough time, and she just took off. I think it was Dejanay that made the pass. And
That's right,
for her to see, I need to lead her right here. We don't have time to do much dribbling. Was a very alert play by two kids that had to know how much time was on the clock. Now, we ended one of the quarters. What quarter was it? We didn't end it very good, and they got a bucket instead of us. We want to take the last shot, and so I think it was Sarah went in there and tried to do a layup. And they got it with 4 seconds, and then they made us look bad on the other end. So, yeah, that was a big momentum boost for us right there with Nalissa running the floor like that and Dejanay recognizing it.
Should have been an and one.
Right, and Dejanay, what made you decide to pass that ball instead of putting it up?
Saw her.
I mean, there was her and Moon, I think both were up there, and we had a chance. We had about 3 more seconds, and I mean, there was no other option for real.
But now ask Dejanay about shooting a 3 when there was a wide open layup. Did y'all see that?
Yes, yeah.
Ask her about that. Ask her what was going through her mind at that moment.
About that play because it looks like you could have taken it all the way to the
Looks
hoop.
like it.
Yeah. When a media person can say that, you ought to be embarrassed.
She said catch.
Honestly, I don't have an answer. I don't. I was like, I'm about to pull this. And then I saw the lane and I said, okay, someone's going to come with me. And then it was
She wanted to try to blame it on Queen and Nalissa for not being down there to rebound it.
Well,
It won't happen
that's
again.
enough giving you a hard time about that play. How about the first couple of buckets you made there in the second quarter? That kind of gets you going a little bit because it seemed like you were a little bit out of sorts to start.
For sure.
A bit, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just had to respond. I started out very rough. Wasn't playing aggressive, wasn't playing smart, just wasn't playing my game, honestly. And came out, talked with coach, and really just sat there and just soaked it all in and told myself I just have to respond. I'm not always going to, start exactly how I want to, but I think I responded, and that was encouraging for me to see personally for myself. And I think that the team was still encouraging me the whole time because they know what I'm capable of. So it was just, good to see.
Excellent. Thanks.
Jerry, then Andrew.
How about our
Dejanay, first double-double here at Baylor, 10th in your career, 11 rebounds. Was that a point of emphasis knowing Max still wound up with 18, but y'all won the rebounding deal, but getting 11 rebounds, how big a deal was that for you?
Personally, I'm not really into stats, but it was good that we were able to control the boards as a team. Coach Moki emphasizes that the guards have to help rebound, and that's just what we did tonight. You've seen it over and over with Moon and Trinity, especially helping on the board. Especially with Moon and Trinity helping on the rebounds. Didi has to get back. But, yeah, you see that. And I was like, all right, let me get a little bit of this action. So tried to get in there and help him out a little bit, and I guess it paid off.
Did you stick around long enough to see the stare from Kim after your missed three-pointer?
She heard,
problem is
we had,
yeah.
I'd say we
I
had
shot
prayer meeting when
right
she
in
came
front.
off that floor. She and I had a prayer meeting, and you saw the prayer work. She went back in and played like she's capable.
Yeah, a lot of my, that shot was also right in front of her, so.
Yeah.
We heard it.
Couldn't escape it.
Oh, that was funny.
Thank you.
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, both Dejanay and then Didi. The game, it felt like a very gritty, grinded out sort of game tonight, and that's kind of how a lot of the games have felt like this season. I would say, just due to circumstances, and then just some of the battles have been tough. Now that you're so close to the end of completing this, really season of turmoil, how does it feel to you guys when you're playing in these battles night after night?
It's exciting. This is what you want. We grinded all during the pandemic while we were all home, and we grinded when we got back here together with each other. This is what you want. You want it to be a gritty game. You want to just go out there and leave it all out there for your teammates, and that's what you've seen us do. Every game we've had to do something a little bit different just based off of what the defense has given us. But there's one thing that remains the same, and it's that grit that we have each and every night.
And Didi, on that same topic of grit, does that give you guys a lot of confidence as a team heading into the postseason, heading into the the March Madness tournament style bracket play?
For sure. I think this is the perfect time for our team to get going the way we're going, because we're going straight into tournament play, and it's exciting. So we can't wait to get to the postseason right now.
Thank you.
All right, Smoke.
Didi, you always seem to have just the greatest look of smile when you play the game. It's always been that way since you walked through the Farrell Center. But with all you've experienced this year, was there a time when you lost it and then got back the love of playing basketball?
Never. I could never say that. With the team that I had, it was almost impossible not to be smiling. I think we walk into practice and we're laughing at something, or even Coach Mulkey comes in the gym wanting to listen to the oldest songs, and it just, it changes up the whole practice. So, it's exciting playing with a team that's as loving and caring as the one we have here.